Quentin Tarantino called on to make Kill Bill 3 by original star. This is obviously Vivica A. Fox, who was obviously Copperhead, I think it was, in that opening scene, the great opening scene that we got in the first Kill Bill Volume 1, John. Speaking with Variety, Fox called on Tarantino to continue the Kill Bill film series with another entry. The actor claims fans are clamouring for more of the story, teasing a potential follow-up centred around Green's daughter, Nakia Bell, a child who witnesses her mother's bloody murder. Fox states she would absolutely return in a sequel. How would you do that? You're dead. If asked by Tarantino. People are hungry. Quentin, let's go. I've been waiting. They said it's going to be my daughter growing up. I know he'll figure out some kind of way. Maybe I'll be in a flashback. Yeah. I'd love to work Quentin Tarantino. I'm giving him his full title again, and I'd love to work with Uma Thurman again. It was a lot of training. John, outstanding stuff.
But do I want to work with Quentin again? I think. You remember all the nonsense that came out?
I think the stuff with Fox, yeah, exactly. And Uma Thurman was fantastic. It was a great opening sequence just to sort of get us right into the sort of mix of these characters in this world that he created for Volume 1 and Volume 2. Tarantino's only doing one more film.
No, he's not. It's bullshit.
If he's saying that, it's not going to be Volume 3 unless he considers that one part of the same film, like he does with Volume 2. Yeah. He doesn't count Volume 2 as a second film.
He released it as two movies together.
Yeah, because I don't remember when they promoted Kill Bill Volume 1. I don't know what number it was, but you know that numbering thing he does, the fourth film by Quentin Tarantino. He did not put that tagline on Volume 2.
Oh, because he considers it the one movie.
So that's a way around it. He could do it in that sense.
I don't think. But we're going to get into this again. Should Quentin retire?
I don't think
from filmmaking.
I don't think Kill Bill needs another volume. I don't think it does. I think it was perfect the way it was. Would I like to see it though? Of course I would. Because like Star Wars sequel trilogy, I knew it was going to be a car crash. I went, no, but give me it. I want to see it. I'll get nervous when I go to the theatre. I don't know so much about Volume 3. I'd get nervous about it, but
you remember Kevin before The Force Awakens?
He went, I don't know if this is a good idea.
Yeah, he was up all night.
Yeah, but I don't think any of us would lose sleep over Kill Bill Volume 3.
No, I wouldn't.
I just don't think it's necessary, to be honest with you. Would it be nice? Of course it would.
But obviously it's the daughter who witnesses the fight in the house. She's spared. It'd be a great revenge story. And Stephen, we've spoken about this before. It'd be poetry in motion, really. Because it goes from her being the wronged individual, seeking revenge, going after someone, and then it flips and she's the hunted. And it's the daughter who's seeking revenge. I think that is just beautiful. 3 acts, and the way it flips, it's symmetry. It's beautiful. I think that would work lovely. And I would trust Quentin if he was taking the challenge on to make a third one and make it an all sort of inclusive 3-part story, an omnibus if you like, a trilogy. I think you'd make it work. I think it'd be special. I'd like to see it. It's just a cast. And how do you cast the character? You need to get that bang on. We know this guy's a master of flashbacks. We've seen that in Pulp Fiction. Christ.
Yeah.
I was just watching it the other week. To me, it's the greatest movie for perspectives, flashbacks, mucking around with timelines.
Yeah.
So we know he can make that work in a way where it will add poignancy and emotion to the daughter character. It's a difficult one to balance because obviously, what's the Uma Thurman character's name in it again? I always forget.
Beatrix Kiddo,
Beatrix. She's almost become the villain.
Yeah.
In that movie.
She would have to be, wouldn't she?
She'd become the villain. And then that's a dodgy one to balance that with the first 2 movies. She's the out and out hero, protagonist. It's how you get the balancing right.
I think people who know the history and watch Volume 1 and 2 would understand their motives anyway. It was all to do with getting her daughter back.
Yes, flipping perspectives a bit there as well.
Most of the time she was backed into a corner before she would lash out. So I think from that perspective, although she would be technically the villain of the film, you would sympathise and understand her position and how she became who she became in those 2 films. Casting, I've not seen Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 for so long, John, maybe 15 years or something like that. I can't remember who survived those 2 films in terms of the characters. Did all the villains die? I can't remember. They probably did
is that English I've just typed?
She was going out with a list, wasn't she? She had a hit list, so probably they're all done.
Yeah,
I think they were. I think they were all murdered,
was
weren't they?
Gogo Yubari the one with the mace? Oh, what a scene that was, man.
She was the one that had the school uniform on.
Yeah,
and
the
she had
mace.
that ball and chain thing.
Yeah, that was outstanding. What a scene that was. Sensational. I'm just trying to find the daughter character. Was there not talk of Zoe Kravitz?
The daughter character,
Zazie Beetz.
The daughter character, John, was actually in quite a few Tarantino films growing up. I think she was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, she, yeah.
I think she was the one carrying the watermelon.
Oh, yeah. Part of Manson's.
Yeah, Brad Pitt was eyeing up, I'm pretty sure. Can't remember. Is it BB? Can't remember.
BB, where was that? BB?
Because she would be...
Because I just remember Zazie Beetz was getting linked.
That's the kid.
Is that the kid? Yeah. I don't know how you'd cast it then. I've not got a fucking clue, but the casting would have to be on point.
Yeah.
First and foremost. And then you just... you are balancing if this is going to be the last Tarantino movie. Do you want to waste it on a Kill Bill?
I don't.
Third part, personally. Getting into that conversation about Tarantino and his career, where it should end after one, he's got this notion that there is a shelf life for directors, and after a certain point they drop off their quality. He's nowhere near that level yet.
No.
This man's trajectory is still going up. He's not made a bad movie for me ever. It's still going up. He's not even plateaued yet to start going down. So you don't stop when you're not even plateaued. He's still relatively young. What is he, like 60? Early 60s?
Yeah.
Late 50s? I think he's early 60s. He shouldn't be stopping anywhere near. Just now, it should be at least 3, 4, 5 movies down the road.
I think perhaps
10, 15 years from now.
I think perhaps maybe he is thinking that...
He's talking about getting into stage.
Yeah. The process of a Tarantino from start to finish, for the minute he pens his first lines right up to the end credit scene, it could be something like 5 years, because he doesn't release films that often, very much like Chris Nolan. And I think by that time John will be in his mid-60s, still relatively young. It's not like George Lucas committed to 10 years of his life to do a trilogy, and he said, I can't commit to doing any more because I'll be in my 80s by that point. This is just films, individual and independent films from Tarantino. But I think it's going to be like the Hugh Jackman thing with Wolverine. He thought he was done, but he's not. I think he probably feels that way at the moment. He probably feels that he's got one more good film in him, and he probably is concerned about his legacy and doesn't want diminishing returns if future films are not up to the sort of standard. A few films dipped in terms of critics. In my opinion, Death Proof was a fantastic film, but it didn't do too well, obviously, with the critics. And there's been a couple of films like that.
The Hateful Eight wasn't one of his outstanding movies, but I still enjoyed it.
It was good.
Dialogue heavy. That's
very long as well, but it was a good classic Western feel to it as well. And I think it was
a great line about dinguses.
Yeah, it had a great, obviously the production value as well, John. I think he used the old traditional
it was the film,
lenses, from the Western period.
Took it on a sort of tour.
Yeah. So
with actual intervals and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
I would like to see Kill Bill 3 happen, but I don't want it to be his last movie.
Yeah.
And I want this guy to continue making film. I want to see that R-rated Star Trek movie. And I just want to see this. Stephen, the world's going to be so much shitter when these guys aren't making movies anymore. These are independent directors who make event movies every 3, 4, 5 years that make you want to go to a theatre and see it. That's not something that's in a great abundance just now with all the sort of big studios churning out the same shit.
John, we do have a handful of good up-and-coming... Well, they're not up-and-coming now, maybe over the last 5 years they were up-and-coming that came through now and are doing good stuff, but there's not any Tarantinos out there. There's not any Scorseses out there. There's not any new Christopher Nolans out there to that sort of standard.
You'd say Jordan Peele
is the one that...
Taika Waititi's trying to get to that level.
James Gunn.
James Gunn's more producer now though, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's taking on that producer role.
He's not going to be doing many directing films now.
There's a couple, but...
Matt Reeves. You know, there is that element, but time will tell whether or not they are up to the task of filling in those shoes. I don't see it, to be honest with you. No one's replaced Kubrick, you know,
Hitchcock.
Or Hitchcock.
Kubrick was a once in a multi-generational talent though.
Yeah.
He's another one that did only 8 movies or something.
It's incredible, John, when you think about it.
And they were all outstanding.
Yeah.
That one,
I think that's probably on Tarantino's
was
mind.
that fucking romantic
He wants to
one
make
did?
sure that his legacy is intact. I don't think he's made a bad film.
What was the one Kubrick did? It was like a period piece. Wasn't Eye Wide Shut? That's mental.
That was the Tom Cruise one, wasn't it?
What was it?
Spartacus.
No, it wasn't that, no. God, what's it called again? It's not Barry Lyndon. Could be here all day looking for
Yeah.
He didn't do many movies.
no.
Was it Barry Lyndon?
I'm not sure.
No, it wasn't Barry Lyndon.
I'm not sure, John. Dr. Strangelove was the Peter Sellers one.
Was it Barry Lyndon?
It's a period drama, so we're frying on here.
Anyway, we're getting down a rabbit hole here.
Yeah, but I know,
Yeah,
but you know
it
what
was
I
Barry
saying?
Lyndon.
Yeah.
It was Barry Lyndon.
Yeah.
Yeah. The guy, you look at the diversity of his movies. They go from the surreal to horror to romantic fucking war stuff. I mean, the guy did everything. He is legendary. I can understand why Tarantino's thinking the way he's thinking.
Yeah.
And even Nolan's not done many movies.
No.
So, I mean, I can't get my head round why he's potentially talking about getting out.
There's obviously a vanity thing that comes into play as well. And like actors, it affects directors as well in terms of legacy. And
you
how
think
they'll
of
be
music,
remembered.
Stephen. You think of the Beatles getting out after 9 years.
Yeah.
What was it, 10 albums?
Yeah.
At their absolute pomp. They're remembered forever young.
Yeah.
Forever in their late 20s, early 20s, mid 20s. The Stones get old and wrinkly, are still touring, and the quality dropped off a cliff.
Yeah.
And it sullied them a bit.
Yeah.
They were never
They're
spoken.
fading away. I mean, obviously the sad passing of Charlie Watts last year or the year before. They're slowly passing away as well, and just that's what happens. That's life, I suppose. But with obviously the Beatles, the four of them were still living when they ended it, and they still had, obviously, when the four of them were together separately, for a good 10 years before obviously Lennon was murdered. But you're absolutely right, John.
Legacy.
I think it's all to do with legacy. I think that's what it is. And if Quentin does a 10th, I don't know how many films he's done, if he does a last film, and then he thinks maybe in a couple of years' time, I think I can do another one, then he'll do another one. He's not going to just say, no, I can't, because I said I can't do it now. I boxed myself into a corner. I just feel that he's given it a sort of a timeline now. He's given it that sort of, this will be my last. I don't think he'll step away from, obviously, film altogether. Will that be screenwriting or producing?
Well, he's saying that he's going to go into books.
Yeah.
And
Why
sort
not?
of theatre productions.
I
want to see Kill Bill 3 though.
Yeah.
As
I'm
long as it's
not
not his
fussed.
last.
If it comes out, I'll watch it. If it doesn't, I'm not going to lose any sleep. Maybe about 10-15 years ago I went, we need a third one, but we don't really, if we're being honest. Story was contained, it was concluded and very satisfying. But we'll move on.